What am I doing with loads of different shoes? Well, I had the privilege of being given the new modes collection from Bahé. So we have the Flex, which are the lowest cushioning option, and then we have the Adapt, which are very adaptable, in the middle, and then we have the Endurance, which are the most cushioned. So I've had them for a few weeks now, and I've really enjoyed trying them out in different environments, and I'm using the Flex a lot for stuff in the gym, lots of different uses in terms of being very versatile, so wearing them out and about, wearing them on my bike, all sorts. Teaching classes as well, they're just really easy, and I like the ground field. So with the other shoes, the reason why I was attracted to the brand in the first place was because they have got cushioning. So they are roomy in the toe area, they are flexible, and they are zero drop. But then they also have something called the ground flow system. So this is a system where you are connected to the earth via some metal compounds within the outsole, and then the midsole and the insole all have different conductive properties. So here we have the conductive insole, but the cool thing is when you take that out, there's also a conductive insole sewn into the shoe, so that gives you even more space. So if someone's used to loads of toe space, then you've got that as an option, which is wonderful. And so you can literally see the mark on my shoe from when I've used it on my bike. But yes, so small overview of what I've used them for and why, basically. So one of the updates is the little pull cord on the back. I find that really useful to get them on and on nice and not on and off nice and quickly. So they're nice and flexible, like super flexible. They're really grippy in the gym. I find it's really useful when I'm doing like twisty movements in the gym and I'm on carpet. They're really nice and grippy for stuff like that. And then the Adapts are that go-between where if, say, someone was going into the barefoot realm, then I'd say go for these to begin with, because they are flexible. They do give you a moderate amount of ground feel, but they also do give you a nice amount of cushioning. I've had a different pair of these for over a year now, and they're just so comfy. They really adapt to your feet and they sort of change to the shape of your own foot, I found. Used them mostly running off-road and hiking, then also leisure activities, basically just for literally everything I would use these for, because they're so versatile, except what I would use these for. So I'm a trail runner. You're in the camera. I use these for running longer distances, so they are still flexible. And I spoke to the founders of the company about a year ago about how I was looking for something that was grounded, something that was flexible, and then something that was also nice and cushioned, because the cushioning on these is exactly what I was looking for. It's still zero drop, which is important to me because I've been zero drop for about 5 years now, but at the same time there's enough cushioning there so that if I'm heel striking down a road, for example, like down a hill, or if my feet are a bit sore after doing a big block of training recently, that kind of thing. And the first run I went on in these shoes, I got about 1.5 miles, 2 miles into the run and realised I was wearing them and that they were new. The step-in comfort was insane. They are really comfortable, there's lots of space, and once again you can take the insole out for there to still be a conductive layer underneath. And also I got a pair of their socks, so with the socks they have fibres in them that make them more grounded, so then you're more likely to be connected to the earth. And it's just things like this, say I'm in the garden right now, but if I was at a park or something where it's slightly less maybe acceptable to wear shoes like this, no shoes, then you can wear them so that you've got shoes on, you're less likely to get caught by stuff like cut glass, that kind of thing, where it's slightly less safe. And a very good example of when I wore these was actually to a dance festival. So me and my sister went to Creamfields, a place where you definitely would not want to have bare feet, and my feet didn't hurt at all by the end of the night. So lots and lots of dancing, lots of walking around. I did over 30,000 steps that day, and I was wearing these and I felt really comfortable. So the only thing I would say is to make sure that you pick a size down. So I'm a 6, 6.5, and I've gone for the UK 5 Euro 38 in all of these, and I've got enough space for toe splay, and they do definitely slightly stretch, so my toes sort of feel like they're coming close to the edge at the beginning, but then they flex with my feet and you can see the areas where they've already flexed. And that's definitely the nature of the beast when it comes to shoes that are flexible. They do adapt and change with your feet a lot more than rigid shoes that keep your feet still. The other update is the laces. So the laces have been updated from a thicker lace to a thinner lace, and they're less noticeable, it's just easy. They adjust nicely, they're not too elastic, which I find is annoying when you tighten your shoes and then they're loose within a mile or so. These definitely stay where they're at, which is good. And yeah, the colours are pretty cool. I wouldn't have necessarily gone for the green myself, but I do really like it. And I have thought that one of the colour schemes with the Endurance is white, and with that whole like chunky white shoe fashion vibe that's been going on for quite a few years now, I would definitely choose, and now we have a cat, I would definitely choose to wear the white upper. Really? Would you choose the white upper? Would you choose the white upper to wear as a fashion shoe? Instead of wearing chunky shoes that don't actually give you any flexibility in your feet, and they make them go to sleep when you're trying to look nice. But I think you can get away with not compromising on looks with these, because they are just really cool. So yeah, I'm going to stop now because there are 2 animals in the way. I think I need to go for a run. But there's also a discount code underneath that will give you double discount, and I will put below how long you've got until the double discount expires, so if you use my code then you also get an extra discount with the pre-order. Peace!